Okay, people, this is part 2 of the video that I was doing about my cannabis session after my workouts. I'm just going to make this quick. Somebody called me and messed it up, the video. But people have to know how certain strains work for them or certain components of cannabis. But just as a general rule of thumb of my suggestion, okay, is that, good morning. You want to look for strains that have terpenes like limonene and pinene, because those are very like energizing and uplifting type strains. Terpenes that help and generally speaking, sativas. Some people can say that, like when you really get into the science of cannabis, people will say that like the general public thinks of sativas as like uplifting cannabis strains that help you like focus and are energizing and uplifting. And indicas stand for in the couch, which means indicas are like more sedating and make you sleepy and drowsy and like just kind of like, just on some inner chill. So that's most people categorize it, but people who are really, into the science will say that's not really true. Like there are indicas that can make you feel uplifting and vice versa, and that the effect, like I could smoke an indica that makes me very sleepy, but it may not do that to somebody else. They could have a different effect. It could have a different effect on them, just like with alcohol. Some people say they can't drink light and dark liquor. It makes them sick. Like other people, I don't have a problem mixing light and dark. It doesn't bother me, but some people swear they can't do that. Or, you have, just like things affect people differently, right? But generally speaking, sativas, uplifting strains that have limonene, pinene, can be very good for before workouts, okay? And after them. Now, if you're playing an intense sport, maybe you're a football player, or you're like, when I go to my really intense dance classes that might be at nighttime, and if I'm done dancing at night and I'm all hyped up and I don't want to stay up all night, then an indica could be good to bring myself down from that. So I'll just like go to sleep and not be up to 5 in the morning because I'm so energized, right? So there are times that a more sleepier in the couch kind of cannabis is good. And especially if somebody is not feeling well. Like if you have a headache or you're not feeling well, like that's another time that a sleepy weed could be good, because sleep is very healing and important, right? It's important for recovery. It's important for when you're trying to heal from something. If you're sick, if you don't want to be sick, sleep is important, right? So I just, it's interesting now that, cannabis has become illegal in many places, that I'm starting to come across all these people who are out in the open with their cannabis consumption. But for me, it was never something that I ever wanted to hide, because I do embody like everything that I do in my life is about optimal performance and health. You know what I'm saying? And I have always, even before, 20 years ago, before I knew all the science I know now behind cannabis, medicine and cannabis science, and just behind cannabis, now that I know all of this, it just confirms what I felt like I knew 20 years ago, which is why I've always been a cannabis smoker. Why I've never tried to hide it. I've always been working out. I've always been dancing hard. I've always been very athletic, engaging in extreme physical activity, you know what I'm saying? And in very good health. And it's a part of my health practices for so many reasons. But the whole thing of getting into my zone and focusing, you know what I'm saying, as a dancer or working out, and it's funny because when I ran track, I didn't smoke before track meets. But I will say that when you run track, and this can happen with other sports too. Maybe it happened a little bit when I played basketball, but it really happened when I ran track, was I would get like this jittery stomach, like serious butterflies in my stomach, before, a track meet. Like you're at the track meet and you're getting ready to, perform, getting ready to run. And a lot of times you get knots in your stomach, right? And cannabis helps to calm all that down. You know what I'm saying? Cannabis helps it. Like anytime, like if my stomach don't feel right and I smoke, it calms it down. You can't eat because, like you might be stressed or upset or sad, or your mind is someplace else. You're just so focused on something else. smoking can calm that down so you could eat now. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that happens to people where they can't really eat. They're having, because your mind and your gut are connected. So when people are having mind issues, depression, mind really somewhere else, stressed, can't relax, it's going to affect your gut function. And now you can't digest. What do I think about adding natural herbs like blue lotus and mullein to my weed? I don't know about blue lotus, but I do think that adding mullein and other herbs is good, because like I said, with tobacco, like if I'm smoking cannabis in a tobacco leaf, tobacco is also an herb, right? I don't like tobacco enough to just be smoking tobacco, like smoking cigarettes, but I like cannabis in a tobacco leaf. And that's how I will mix those two herbs. So yes, you can mix herbs. In mixing herbs, you know, traditionally in herbal medicine, people mix herbs, you know, like herbs have a synergy, just like foods, you know what I'm saying? Like they're better together. They can strengthen each other. Hey, Gerald, I hope you're great. They can strengthen each other. So yes, it is good to mix them. Have I ever got anxious while high? Maybe when I first started smoking. When you're not a weed smoker and you're like, you know, the first few times that you smoke, you like a paranoid, or you're like maybe hallucinating a little bit, or you're like, but people who smoke cannabis, that's not happening. No. No. I might have been annoyed, you know, because like if I smoke an indica, I'm more likely to be annoyed, because I'm just like on this, it makes me very inner, and anything that anybody's talking about that's like kind of retarded will really annoy me, or like it's like they're disturbing my peace or something. You know, with sativas, I have a lot more positive outlook. Like, I'm not gonna say I have a negative outlook with indica, but I'm just like, I'll let things roll off me more. And, you know, it's interesting because, you know, I had my mom, you know, my mother is 74, 73? 73. My mom is 73, right? And so she and she listens to my advice when it comes to fitness and nutrition. She's very, very good. But she knows when she's getting sick to make echinacea and green tea. I combine echinacea and green tea. I think they're more powerful together. And echinacea is really something that's really powerful when you're actually sick. Like if you're not sick, there's really no need to consume the herb echinacea. But if you feel like you're about to get sick, like you're on the brink of getting sick, or you are sick, definitely. And if you're on the brink of getting sick and you douse yourself with green tea and echinacea, I promise you, 9 times out of 10, it will stop whatever it is in its tracks. So my mom already knew that, but she was just drinking echinacea tea. She hadn't combined the green tea. And she told me that she was, you know, starting to feel, it broke your fever in hours. Exactly. Yeah. She was she was drinking echinacea tea and it was making her feel a little bit better, but she said that she had been feeling very sluggish and abnormally tired for like the past few days. Like she just couldn't, like she just felt like she was dragging so much. And she's like, I really feel like I'm getting sick. I don't know what's wrong with me. So I combined the green tea with the echinacea and a CBD tincture, okay? And I'm going to do a video very soon about CBD versus THC and the differences and when one is better than the other to use medicinally. I just haven't had the time, but very soon I'll be doing it. So I will tell you, you know, maybe in that video why I chose CBD over THC. But I put CBD tincture in her tea, okay? And 20 minutes later, I look at her and she's like moving around with all this energy and pep in her step. And I'm like, oh, wow, you look a lot better. Like, you know, and she's like, oh my God, I feel so much better. Like, she's like, I'm breathing better. Like, I just feel so much better. Like, she could not get up before. She was just feeling so, and it happened so quickly. And then that whole day, because I'm very close to my mom, but sometimes we clash, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, you know, also her whole vibe. You know, like I'm addicted to caffeine, right? Like I have also, before I worked out, I drank my matcha. I don't drink coffee. I do not drink coffee. And I'm not saying coffee's bad. I'm just not a coffee drinker. I'm a tea drinker. So I get my caffeine from matcha or yerba mate. Yerba mate is a tea from South America that's caffeinated. It looks like weed, but it's green and it's caffeinated. And then there's matcha, which is from Japan, which is ground up green tea leaves. So this is my matcha latte, and that's where I get my caffeine, right? So I have to have caffeine every single day. Like I'm definitely addicted to caffeine. Caffeine is surely addictive. Like weed is not addictive, and that's a whole nother conversation I can have, because I just finished taking a class where we're going into depth with that. If some people can argue that weed has an aspect of addiction, I don't really agree with that. It could be, you know, that's another video. But I will tell you, it's not like caffeine, because I absolutely cannot go a day without caffeine. If I even think I can go to the middle of the day without caffeine, it's a problem. Like if I try that, I'll end up with a headache, like, or I'm just like, I need caffeine every day, right? My mom is not like that. She drinks coffee every now and then, or matcha every now and then, just for the flavor, but she's not someone who needs caffeine every day. And she'll get up early and be moving around, or she'll be up late, or she just has, you know, energy. So the CBD, like the way that it helped her just come back to herself quick, and she just was raving and thanking me for helping her feel better. And you know, it's because it's balancing the endocannabinoid system. But I'm like, it's better, really, if I had to say, and I don't think caffeine is, you know, completely bad, but I think if you can stimulate yourself and get your energy up with using CBD, like it's even better to me than being addicted to caffeine like I am, right? So anyhow, that's a conversation for another day. But yeah, I just wanted to just talk about like the fitness cannabis thing. Like I'm very much love to smoke before and after my workouts, and I just wanted to talk about that and just show that aspect, because it's not spoken about enough. I know so many people who are into fitness, who are really strong, really fit, and they're weed smokers. Okay, whether they be athletes, non-athletes, whatever, dancers, singers, all of that. Okay, and I'm all about ending the stigma. Okay, I've always been about that, but now is even better time to do that. Okay, so I hope you guys have a great day. If you didn't see the first part of this video, check out the first part. Somebody called me, messed it up. Check out the first part. I'm gonna go eat my eggs and bacon, cooked in lots of butter and some good cheese, and going about my day. Okay, make sure you guys strength train as well. Okay, strength training is really important. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. I don't care if you're 22 or 52 or 72. You need to strength train. Okay, have a good day, people. Bye.